Hello and welcome to Destination Paris, our weekly show here on France 24 as we count down to the Olympics in the French capital. We'll be bringing you all the latest news on the Games and checking in with athletes from across the world as their preparation enters its final phase. With just 3 weeks to go now until the Games, organisers are busy making sure all the venues will be ready on time. There have been some serious doubts about the River Seine, which is supposed to be hosting open water events after a cleanup project costing nearly €1.5 billion. It's failed several water quality tests in the build-up to the Olympics, with several test events cancelled over the last year. But there's some promising news. Data now shows on Thursday that pollution levels in the Seine have improved and are currently at a safe level for swimming. Whether or not that will stay will be for the triathlon and swimming events during the Games will be very much dependent on the weather. Heavy rainfall in recent months in France has overwhelmed water storage basins built to help clean up the river. The president of the International Olympics Committee, Thomas Bach, says that he's optimistic that events will be able to go ahead as planned, but that athletes will need to prepare for different scenarios.
We are optimistic. The problem in Paris the last few weeks was the rain. The pools couldn't hold all the water.
The
triathlon rule says that you do a duathlon without swimming. We have to accept that. There are other ideas, but that's the rule that the athletes have adapted to.
One of the most highly anticipated venues in the heart of the French capital was unveiled this week. The iconic Place de la Concorde has been transformed into an urban park that will be hosting skateboarding, BMX, freestyle, breaking and free-a-side basketball. Workers have been putting the final touches to temporary installations that have taken 8 months to build. The venue at the bottom of the Champs-Élysées will welcome 25,000 spectators every day during the Games. All the structures will be removed after the Olympics, but will be used again for future events, including the World Cycling Championships. Now, as part of our Four Corners of the World series, our correspondents across the globe have been following athletes' preparation for the Games. This week, we have the last episode featuring Indian wrestler Anshu Malik as she clinches her ticket to Paris.
In their family home, Anshu's treasures, her medals, are proudly displayed. Her achievements etched on the walls of their living room.
Here
are some of my trophies. This one is the most special, the Arjuna Award. It's a national award given by the president for being the best player in my discipline. These are all my international medals. If I win a medal at the Olympics, I will put it in a special frame. That's the ultimate prize.
In 2 days, Anshu will be flying to Japan to a new training academy. Wrestlers there are considered to be unbeatable, like Rosako Kawai, who won a gold at the Tokyo Games.
In India, children start learning wrestling from the age of 10. In Japan, they start at 3 or 4. 7 years old is already too late for them. When I started training there, I learned I'd been making some mistakes without even realizing it. I have to get out of my comfort zone. Sacrifices are necessary to win medals.
The young woman is the first Indian wrestler to train in Japan. She'll practice intensively for 3 weeks until the final qualifying event where her skills will be tested on the mat. The competition kicks off in Kyrgyzstan. The winner qualifies for the Paris Olympics. Anshu needs to beat Uzbekistan's Leyla Khan Sobirova.
The result is not in our hands. There'll be one winner and one loser. That's how it's always been.
The young wrestler is supercharged. She's in control and from the very start throws her opponent out of the circle and scores. This technique won her the selection round in India. Will she repeat that feat? Anshu attacks relentlessly, making it impossible for her rival to strike back. Once again, she tosses her opponent, sealing her fate. A resounding triumph in just 3 minutes. Anshu Malik will represent India in Paris in July.
When I win and go to the podium, I forget everything, all the pain and challenges. That feeling of winning, it's out of this world.
Let's cross to Tunisia now, where taekwondo and wrestling are the disciplines with the most athletes who have qualified for the Games. Our correspondents there visited a training camp where everyone is hard at work. Let's take a look.
The countdown to the Paris Games started long ago for these taekwondo athletes who are training in this sports complex in Tunis. One favorite is Mohamed Khalil Jandoubi, who brought home a silver medal from the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. His example inspired a whole new generation, like Firas Gattusi, the current world champion in the men's under 80 kilo class.
Thanks to Khalil's win in Tokyo, people know Taekwondo more, are following it more. People send us messages, encourage us. People are waiting to watch the competition.
In the Dojang, the training hall, is Ikram Dahri, 27. This will be her first Olympics ever.
It's a bit stressful. Sure, there's stress in any competition, but the whole world will be watching this competition. It's not just any ordinary competition. So I'm trying to prepare mentally, most of all, and also physically, of course.
In an adjacent room, the female and male teams for Greco-Roman wrestling and freestyle wrestling practice falls and arm holds. Training side by side is an advantage for Siwar Boussetta, who qualified for the Olympics.
Men are stronger than women, so we take that strength, and when we wrestle with women, it feels it's much easier.
2 men and 2 women wrestlers will fly to Paris. They're dreaming of a podium finish like their role model, Marwa Amri. The coach of the women's team is the first Tunisian and Arab woman to have won a medal in freestyle wrestling at the 2016 Olympics in Rio.
Wrestling was seen badly, because people think that women who wrestle are aggressive. But really now the mentality has changed a lot. Why? Because there's a lot of women, and it's spread not just in Tunisia. It's spread to other Arab countries too.
In the run-up to Paris at the beginning of July, these athletes are counting on a lot more concentration and solidarity to get them ready.
Now, one star athlete to look out for will be pole vaulter Armand Duplantis. The 2-time world champion and Olympic gold medalist is hotly tipped to be successful in his defence for his title in Paris. The 24-year-old broke the men's pole vault record, which was his own record for an 8-foot time, by clearing 6.24 metres in China in April. Having already won the world indoor and a European champion titles this year, the Swede says that anything else is just the cherry on top, and that he feels less pressure this time round as it's his second Olympics. Let's take a listen.
There's always going to be pressure. Every competition I go to, it's pressure. And that's the way it is when you're the favorite and that you're supposed to win every competition. For me, it feels like it's going to be my first Olympic experience, almost in a way. I think that it's super nice to already have the first Olympics out of the way and have that gold medal in my back pocket, so now I can have a little bit less stress going into this year. But I think this is going to be the real experience, and I think that Paris is going to be magical.
Sport has given us some amazing sibling double acts over the years, and there's one that is closing in on legendary status as they prepare for Paris. Croatian brothers Martin and Valent Sinkovic are hoping to get their 4th medal in rowing this summer. The pair won a silver medal at London 2012 in the quad, a gold at Rio in 2016 in the double sculls event, and a gold again in Tokyo 3 years ago in the men's pairs sweep rowing. This year, the brothers will be competing again in the men's pair. It's the first time they'll be competing in the same discipline at an Olympics. They've been training at Prakula Lake in their homeland.
Our preparation so far is going really good. We made some good improvement on our technique and definitely in our form. So we expect to be much faster than the first part of the season. And we definitely know that we need to be much faster to even compete for medal.
Women's World Cup winners Spain have announced that their squad for the Olympics. The 18-player list includes a two-time Ballon d'Or winner Alexia Putellas, Barcelona star Antonina Bonmati and Jenny Hermoso. Patri Grugaro is also back in the squad after missing out on the World Cup, after signing an open letter along with 15 other players against the then coach Jorge Vilda. It's the first time that the Spanish women's team is competing at the Olympics, and they are definitely the ones to beat. They are currently top of the FIFA rankings. And let's leave you with a sneak preview of choreography rehearsal for the highly anticipated opening ceremony on the 26th of July on the River Seine. Most of the details, of course, are still top secret, but these images of a practice run before the big event have been released. More than 3,000 dancers will be performing 10 different routines. That's all for now on Destination Paris. We'll be leaving you with these images. Thank you for watching. You can join us again next week. Goodbye for now.